Welcome back to Gotham, people. It's Penguin, episode 2, and this one is called The Inside Man. Now, we start off with Sophia Falcone's PTSD from her time in Arkham Asylum. She's having nightmares, flashbacks, and she's obviously very disturbed. And we also get a glimpse of her relationship with Dr. Julian Rush, which definitely looked a little bit more than doctor-patient. Now, Penguin visits Salvatore Maroni, the head of the Maroni crime family, who are the enemies of the Falcones. Now, he visits him in prison, and this is the first time we kind of see Penguin do what he does best. Now, despite being seen as nothing, disrespected by everybody, every crime family, he's seen as like the bottom of the barrel. He's actually able to manipulate people because he is underestimated constantly. So we find out he's actually calculating, conniving, and can be quite ruthless when needs be. And we also find out later on that Penguin and Sophia obviously have a history. Something's happened to them with them in the past, and Penguin tries to do manipulation with Sophia, but she's not having a bar of it. Sophia has no love for Penguin at this point. They just have to find out what happened between them in the past. Now, obviously, we all know that she's already come out of Arkham, but we don't really know why until now via a radio report. We actually find out that Sophia Falcone is actually a serial killer known as the Hangman, responsible for the death of 7 women. So she's somebody we probably shouldn't mess with. Now, Penguin continues his mentorship of Victor, and Victor learns more about Penguin's street-level crew and who's involved in there. And we also meet Penguin's girlfriend, Eve, which actually seems like quite a loving and affectionate relationship between them. As with current mounting problems, we also find out that Oz's mother's condition is getting worse, her medical condition. It's not really specified there, but it seems to be dementia, Alzheimer's, something like that, where she obviously is becoming forgetful. So he rushes around there, obviously checking on her, and they actually share quite a delicate, touching moment where he puts on a record, a vinyl, and they actually have a dance together. But during that dance there, we hear her whispering stuff to him about her expectations and how she's disappointed in him. We actually get an idea of where this big expectation he has of himself being something better is not just from him, it's also from his mother. Now, later on, Sophia becomes convinced that there is a traitor inside man in the Falcone family. He's feeding information. And this person, she believes, is also linked to the death of her brother, Alberto, which is kind of primarily her focus, as you would be. Alberto and her were very close. Now, Penguin realizes that Sophia is not going to let this go until she actually gets somebody for this. So he devises a plan to actually give her a traitor, to feed her a traitor, and this plan is to be executed at Alberto's funeral. Now, like most of Oz's plans, it does not go to plan. There's always something that goes wrong. That's why I said he's kind of a very lucky person, because even when things don't work, he's very good at maneuvering, thinking on his toes. Improvisation is what we call it. He's very good at improvisation. So he's able to successfully frame someone else for Alberto's murder and for being the traitor in the Falcone family, and that fake justice is delivered immediately. Now, towards the end of the episode, Oz gives Victor a very harsh lesson in their world. What happens if you choke or don't deliver when you're going to do something? You end up in a grave. So he delivers this lesson by actually making Victor lie down in a grave, which obviously you can imagine is quite traumatic itself. And now, right at the end, because Sophia now believes that her brother's killer has been caught, she's still not happy with the rest of the Falcone family or how it's been run. So she then sees Oz as the only option and begins to confide in him a little bit. I think she sort of starts to trust him now, because obviously she feels like the killer's been caught. Her suspicion is off him now. So she sees him maybe as an ally, despite their past, which we still don't really know about. So what did you think of the Inside Man episode 2? I mean, I was very impressed with how Penguin, twice in this episode, was able to maneuver, pivot, switch very last minute, and to actually change when his plans have gone wrong. He's definitely a character who is very slick, organized, and has always things go right for him. Things go wrong, but he's used to digging himself out of holes. I think that's his talent right there. So let me know what you thought of this episode, and come back next week. Let's discuss episode 3.